Good day, sir. We are the Group 2 and we will be discussing about what is circle graph. Let's talk about what is circle graph. A circle graph is also known as a pie chart. A graph is in the shape of circle with different wedges that each represent a percentage of a total. Each angle of a circle graph is proportional to the quantity it represents. So the next part of this video is all about the history of the circle graph, to be presented by my co-member, Kenneth Perez.
History of circle graph. William Playfair is the first to popularize the use of circle graph and also known as pie chart. He was born on September 22, 1759 and he died on February 17, 1823. He was an engineer and political economist, remembered primarily for his innovations in the presentation of quantitative information by means of graphs and charts. He invented the time series graph or line chart, the bar chart, and the pie chart. The circle graph was first used in 1801 by William Playfair. However, it did not gain popularity until the late 1800s, when used by Florence Nightingale.
There is also pros and cons of a circle graph. So the pros, easy to see large disparities in data. Pie charts are very effective when showing data where there is a large disparity between two units. Next is can emphasize data when there are only a few units. When deciding whether to use a pie chart, you need to consider how many data units you are comparing. Pie charts can emphasize data when there are only a few units. The cons of a circle graph are cannot compare more than a few pieces of data. However, pie charts are not a good option for comparing more than a few pieces of data. With too many pieces of data, it is hard for the viewer to distinguish among the different units. In this case, many of the data units are smaller and harder to see as well. Next is the unhelpful when observing trends over time. Pie charts are not a good selection for comparing data over time. When considering the visual aspect of it, it is hard for the eye to fully understand the changes when looking at a circle.
I will show you an example. Sir Kim surveyed his students about their favorite sports. The table shows the list of favorite sports in Mr. Kim's class. So there are 13 students who chose basketball as their favorite sport, 16 for volleyball, 3 for soccer, 6 for badminton, and 12 for others. So the first step is you need to add all the value in order to get the total. So 13 plus 16 plus 3 plus 6 plus 12 equals 50. Therefore, there are 50 students in Mr. Kim's class. Next, divide each value by the total and multiply it to 100 to get the percentage. For basketball, 13 divided by 50 times 100 equals 26%. For volleyball, 16 divided by 50 times 100 equals 32%. For soccer, 3 divided by 50 times 100 equals 6%. For badminton, 6 divided by 50 times 100 equals 12%. And lastly, for the others, 12 divided by 50 times 100 equals 24%. So, for the third step, you need to multiply the percentage or decimal to 360 degrees to get the number of degrees in each arc or section in the graph. For basketball, 26% times 360 degrees equals 93.6 degrees. For volleyball, 32% times 360 degrees equals 115.2 degrees. For soccer, 6% times 360 degrees equals 21.6 degrees. For badminton, 12% times 360 degrees equals 43.2 degrees. For others, 24% times 360 degrees is 86.4 degrees. So, for the last step, by using the data in step 3, you can now make a circle graph by using a protractor. You can also make a pie chart by using the Microsoft Word.
Example number 2. If we asked 100 persons which TV program they like the most, so we got this result. So there are 17 persons who chose Grey's Anatomy, 34 persons in Vampire Diaries, 15 persons in the original, 26 persons who chose his friends, and 8 persons who chose Teen Wolf. Now, we need to find the percentage for each TV program. Now, we need to find the percentage. In finding the percentage, just divide it into 100. For example, in Grey's Anatomy, 17 over 100. In Vampire Diaries, 34 over 100. In the original, 15 over 100. Friends, 26 over 100. And Teen Wolf, 8 over 100. So to find the degree, just simply multiply it by 360. And we can see the percentage inside the circle graph.
So for the summary of circle graph, we all know now that William Playfair, who invented circle graph, or also known as the pie chart, with different wedges, and that every angle represents proportional to the quantity. The pros of circle graph is that it is easy to see large disparities in data and can emphasize data when there are only few units, while the cons of circle graph is that cannot compare more than a few pieces of data and unhelpful when observing trends over time, which is very helpful for us to know when we create and solve using circle graph or pie chart. Thank you.